Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Vijay Lakshmi. This is a continuation video of my previous video, and here we are discussing about different measures of data cube. What are the different categories and computations in measuring the data cube? So here it can be organized into three categories based on the aggregate functions what we are going to use. The first method is the distributive. So here an aggregate function is distributive if it can be computed in a distributed manner. Suppose the data are partitioned into n sets, means we apply the function to each partition resulting in n aggregate values. If the result derived by applying the function to n aggregate values is the same as that derived by applying the function on all the data without partitioning, okay, the function can be computed to the entire data set. So here the function is computed in a distributed manner. For example, if you take count, it can be computed for a data cube by first partitioning the cube into a set of subcubes and then computing the count for each of the subcube and then summing up the counts obtained for each of the subcube. So we say that count is a distributive aggregative function. Similarly, for the same reason, even sum, min, max also we consider it as a distributive aggregate functions. So here a measure is distributive if it is obtained by applying a distributive aggregate functions. Okay, the second method is called as algebraic. So here if an aggregate function is algebraic, if it can be computed by algebraic function with m arguments. Here m is a bounded positive integer, and each of which is obtained by applying a distributive aggregate function. For example, average, min of n, and standard deviation. So these can be computed with the help of algebraic functions. Next is the holistic. So an aggregate function is holistic if there is no constant bound on the storage size needed to describe a sub-aggregate. So there does not exist an algebraic function with m arguments that characterizes the computation. So for example, median, mode, rank and all if you consider. So here this measure is holistic because it can be obtained by applying a holistic aggregate functions. So these are the three measures what we follow. For example, if you consider this is a concept hierarchy, that is dimensions, based on the dimensions location. How we are going to define a sequence of mapping from a set of low level concepts to a higher level, more general concepts. So if you see this diagram here at all, you have regions Europe and North America, and within the region Europe you have country German, Spain, Canada, Mexico and so on, and in German you have Frankfurt, etc. And if you take Vancouver, you have an office Elchan and Mwind. So here this is the hierarchical mapping of a low level concepts to the high level. That is, office is mapped to the city, city in turn is mapped to a country, country in turn to a region, and regions, that is, to all. Okay, here. So based on the attributes of dimensions, here they can be arranged in a partial order to form a lattice in a cube. So how these can be arranged in a cube here? So here we try to arrange it based on the low level concepts to high level concept. That is how we are going to map. We'll see. So this is an example. That is if you see a data warehouse here. So here how the sub folders or files, how they have stored in the main folders, you can see here. So which is how they have been mapped to the higher level sequence compared to from the low level sequence. So these mappings form a concept hierarchy for the dimension location mapping of a set of low level concepts to high level in a more general. You see this example cube here, how we have mapped the product and date, and the other dimension what we are considering is the country. So here we are considering three dimensions. There is a product, that is VCR, PC, TV, and the date, it's a whether 1 quarter or 2 quarter, 3 quarter or 4 quarter, and what is the sum of this one. Aggregate we have to take. Similarly here also the product aggregate we are considering. And if you see the third dimension here, it belongs to from which location, country, USA, Canada, Mexico, and what is the sum of those particular products of that particular country. So here if you see this, how it is arranged in the form of a cube considering 3 dimensions. Now see here, cuboids corresponding to the cube. 0 means, the 0 dimension means apex cuboid it is. Now here if you see this lattice, we are considering only one dimension. Here product, date and country. How we are going to arrange it in the form of a cube dimension. And if you see this lattice, we are considering 2 dimensions, that is product and date here. For this dimension, what we are considering country and the date. And for this lattice, we are considering the product and the country. So this is based on 2 dimensions. So we call it as 2D cuboids. Similarly, if you consider 3 dimensions, we call it as the 3D cuboid, and now it is the base. This is the last one what we have considered here. So this lattice has product, date and the country. We are considering the country here from this product, date, and here date and the country. So we are considering 3 dimensions here. So these are the cuboids corresponding to the cube. We take the aggregate of all this. So that's what how we are going to measure the dimensions. We can measure the dimensions based on the distributive, algebraic or holistic nature of the attributes. Thank you all.